the anti-Vesna series. That's exactly what we could describe Edmonton versus Chicago as. So game 1, Chicago took that 6-4 against Edmonton with 5 Dominic Kubalik points. However, this game, Connor McDavid started like a house on fire. Where have we seen that before? So it took him 19 seconds to score, and as everyone with a little hockey knowledge could have predicted, Mikko Koskinen started in goal for the Oilers, which would immediately pay off for now with a big save on Jonathan Taylor's. But then McJesus again gets on a turbo on a perfect impression of Speedy Gonzalez, perfect impression of Sonic the Orange Hedgehog. He blitzes past Chicago and coolly puts it in the net. An absolute belter of a goal made Duncan Keith and Corey Crawford look like school kids. And the Oilers are 2-0 up, not having played 5 minutes yet. But that's alright. Chelsea Tigers are blasting in Rogers Place. Patrick Kane has been doing what McDavid's been doing for over a decade. What he can do, Patrick Kane can do better. Patrick Kane reduces the deficit. 5 minutes later, the series is shaping up to be classic and a high-scoring one, as it would prove to be. Koskinen and Corey Crawford are called up a lot early on. Koskinen saves the Patrick Kane breakaway. The teams look ready to score 10 apiece. What a series this is shaping up to be. So the goal scoring carried over into the second with Tyler Ennis restoring the 3-goal lead for the Oilers. And with the Oilers outshooting the Blackhawks 20-9, it looks like game 1 definitely triggered a few switches with the Oilers. Right when you think Edmonton's got it in the bag, they'll score 1 or 2 goals unanswered next. Slater Cuckoo scores Chicago's second of the game at the 8th Blackhawks goal of the series with just 85 minutes played in this series. However, Mikko Koskinen is definitely out to prove me wrong when I said that he's the key to defeating the Blackhawks after Mike Smith's nightmare in game 1. He comically lets the puck roll in. It looks like the Oilers are tanking for Lafreniere, but McDavid didn't get the memo. He retaliates. He does what he wants. He gets a hat-trick. And we're on our way to a 10-goal game yet again. Let's go. This third started a little calmer. Some opportunities for both sides, but it definitely died down just a little. But 7.5 minutes into the period, Corey Crawford shows solidarity to Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen and has another howler. He's getting robbed of the puck behind the net, and James Neal scores the 5th for the Oilers on the night. Not even a minute later, 40 seconds to be precise, 3 Blackhawks skaters, including Duncan Keith and Corey Crawford, again got managed to deal with James Neal, and Alec Jason gets Edmonton's 6th. I don't know what Game 3 has in store for us, but I can't wait to see it. A lot of people, including me, actually felt terrible for predicting the Oilers to go through after Game 1. But Game 2 showed that the Blackhawks definitely are still a team that needs a lot of work. It's the Blackhawks that we've known during the regular season. I don't know which Blackhawks will get in Game 3. But whatever Blackhawks will get, if it's a terrible one, we guaranteed a lot of goals. On Edmonton's side, if it's a good one, we guaranteed a lot of goals. Anyway, but indeed, the Chicago Blackhawks did look uncoordinated, sloppy. They had flashes of brilliance, but they were generally horrific. But again, the goalkeeping and the defense should definitely be improved ASAP if they want to get anywhere near the second or the third round of the playoffs, which at this rate seems really unlikely. Now on to the Pittsburgh Penguins versus Montreal Canadiens, which, to be fair, it's the most disappointing series so far, especially on Pittsburgh end of things. They were terrible in the first game against Montreal, losing that one 3-2. They did win this one 3-1. However, they were still very, very, very far away from what we know. So the Pens obviously can't afford to lose a game 2 against Montreal going into it. And I definitely expected Pittsburgh to come out like a house on fire, score an early goal. It looked like it wasn't going to happen, but then obviously 5 minutes into the game, Sidney Crosby scores a 5-hole, gets the Penguins on the board, and it looks like the Penguins are back. This is going to be a 5, 6, 7 goal game from the Penguins. But it wasn't to be. Carey Price yet again is proving his worth. He's definitely keeping Montreal in this game and in these series over the 2 games. The first Penguins power play looks really good. They've got lots of shots, so you're creating many opportunities. However, Montreal keeps them out, and it looks like everything's going to be fine. But over the course of the game, they had lots of power plays. Couldn't do anything with them, not even with a 5-on-3. And Montreal perhaps could have done something with this game if it wasn't for Armia, in my opinion, who definitely was a liability in this game, getting lots of stupid penalties. Even when the Habs actually had a man advantage, he gets a penalty, gets goals, it's a 4-on-4. The Habs lose that opportunity at equalizing, getting a first goal. But Montreal did actually start the second much stronger, and they showed promise, though you'd still have doubts as to whether they could keep this up for an entire period, and in the third, which they didn't. But yeah, again, the problem with the Penguins really is that converting of chances. They create a lot of chances, they get a lot of chances, but it takes them so many shots to actually get the goal. You're not going to get that many shots against a team like Columbus, against a team like Vegas, against a team like Tampa Bay. You're going to get a limited amount of chances, and you need to capitalize on them. You need to be scoring 3, you need to be scoring 4, 5 if you want to beat those teams with the offense they've got. And it certainly looks like Pittsburgh is not ready for that yet. The second, again, ended with nothing of note. Pittsburgh withdrew their chances, and the game truly, there's not that much you can say about it. It was just void of a lot of things. Offensively, yes, there were some big chances. There were some big chances that were missed, but it wasn't an exciting game at all. It wasn't a tactical matchup. It wasn't a game end-to-end where perhaps it's 1-0, 2-0, maybe 2-1. With not a lot of goals, but a lot of chances, lots of big hits. That wasn't the case. It was really just a big sloppy mess with Pittsburgh just winning, doing what they are expected to do. But Montreal getting one back with Jesperi Kotkaniemi yet again. Matt Murray does not inspire confidence in a team if he is a goalkeeper and I'm a D-man or an offense man. I see Matt Murray, I'm not inspired. I don't think Pittsburgh should be expecting him to do them any favors. He's not going to have a shutout when he's facing 35 shots against Tampa Bay. He's not going to have a shutout when he's facing Ovi for 30, 32 minutes of a game. And although you'd think Pittsburgh were dominant, if you don't really look at the stats such as shots, this was far from a dominant performance. It was far from a good performance at all. They did just about enough to get them over the line, to get this game and tie the series 1-0. But they look very iffy, they look very fragile. I'm not expecting much at all if we don't see serious improvement soon. As I said in my previous video on Game 1, I don't expect Montreal to win more than one game still, but I've been left very disappointed, and it's a very lackluster team, this Pittsburgh Penguins. We expected them to perhaps sweep Montreal. We expected them to have 5, 6, 7 games routine against Montreal, but this is a far cry from the teams that we've seen win Stanley Cups, even though that core of Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Chris Letang, it's still all there. The Penguins look like they can concede a lot of goals in a very short amount of time, which is a very alarming thing if you're a Pittsburgh fan and if you want to win the cup like they are expected to do, or at least challenge for it. They have a lot of work to do in the power play, and they shouldn't rely on Matt Murray. Like I said, Carey Price can bail a team out. He's proven it over and over in this series. Matt Murray can't do it. It's not a matter of getting Tristan Jarry in the goal. He's equally as inconsistent, I would say. But again, against the Habs, they'll be fine for now. I'd like to do a video on what's going wrong with Pittsburgh, but perhaps I'll wait with Game 3, Game 4 perhaps, maybe even a Game 5. And I'll definitely first see what they do in the first round of the Stanley Cup Players before I do something like that. So that was it. I've been Norman, and thank you very much for watching.